CNN turns on Kamala Harris after she lost in their own poll. Ouch. And y'all know Kamala Harris, she's out here on this campaign trail. She just held a rally in Blue Philadelphia, Deep Blue Philadelphia, as George wrote. And there were only 68 people that showed up. Think about this the next time they talk about the fake poll.
Harris.
Now, Kamala Harris was actually told to her face that she has the worst approval rating for a VP in U.S. history. And she responded with a typical Kamala Harris response.
There are reports that say that you have the lowest approval rating of any vice president. I'm curious how much of a role, if any, that you feel race and gender play in that.
Well, there are polls that also say I have great approval ratings. I think the point that has to be made is that there are attempts to create distractions away from the accomplishments of our administration.
Oh, is that right? So it can't be true, huh? People it's just not possible, huh? Well, just then, Newsmax, new polls, 92% of voters believe Kamala Harris is to blame for covering up Biden's self. What you gonna say about this poll?
So in a new poll conducted by YouGov, 9 in 10 voters believe that Kamala Harris played a role in covering up Joe Biden's deteriorating health. 68% believe she had, quote, a great deal to do with the cover-up. 17% say somewhat. Only 7% say a little. And a tiny fraction, 4%, say she had nothing to do with it. That means a total of 92% of voters think Kamala Harris is to blame for the lie.
Somebody said a poll or poll, like. Somebody said polls that were made up by a 10-year-old. There are no accomplishments. Are those the hooker hoes in her home or in her office? What accomplishments? I've yet to hear any of them brought up by her or her, how you said it, lemmings? I don't even know what that means. Somebody even got this picture right here. I got to show y'all real quick. It says, I suck at my job. The comments is crazy. Somebody said, haha, she is such a gaslighting liar. The entire administration is, yes, I would say the entire administration is to be held accountable for trying to cover up Joe Biden's decline, man. I wouldn't even just put her as the front man in that. Race and gender, do they ever get tired of playing the victim? I doubt it. I don't think so. I don't know. Now, before we get into how CNN fact-checked Kamala Harris campaign and about how Project 2025 is a lie, the first thing we're going to dive into is the CNN roundtable discusses how Kamala Harris may actually be dragging Biden down to his bid for re-election. And this was posted, July 26th? They said this is only 3 months old and they must have whiplash from changing their narrative so fast. Let's check it out.
Interesting news. Recent focus groups conducted by the super PAC Republican voters against Trump found that swing voters don't like Harris. And focus groups conducted by the Democratic National Committee also found Harris rubs some people the wrong way. So, Jonah, how big a drag is Kamala Harris on the ticket?
I think she's a pretty big drag. I think she was arguably Biden's worst political decision of his presidency to pick her in the first place. And one of the special reasons that she's a drag is Biden's age concerns people. They worry that he can't fill a term. They worry that he's not up to the job. And so the vice president matters more than they normally do. I generally think going into the future that Democrats really should not nominate or front people who come from decidedly all blue states, unless they're like once in a generation talents like Barack Obama, because Kamala Harris does not know how to talk to the center or to the right. She only really knows how to sort of speak the language of the base of the party, and that's 34% of the electorate.
Let me pick up on that, because it's not just focus groups that are down on Harris right now. In a recent poll, national poll, 40% approved of the vice president's job performance, while 55% disapproved. And Kara, to Jonah's point, given the fact that people are so worried, voters on all political stripes are so worried about Biden's age and whether he's going to last for 4 more years, is it a problem when they're not very very satisfied or reassured by the person who would succeed him.
Doesn't really matter. She's not going to be replaced, and they don't like her. There's lots of reasons they don't like her, and I don't think the vice president matters as much as people think. I don't think they think about her unless...
With an 82-year-old
yes, I get
president,
that.
it might
I get
matter
that,
more.
but right now, I don't think that's the first thing they think about is her necessarily. I just don't. I think they've not liked her. She's had not a successful vice presidency, although I don't know what that means at all, because I don't think people thought of Mike Pence very much, or Dan Quayle, or anybody else. And so it doesn't matter because she's not going anywhere. He's not going to replace her. Think about that. Think about the earthquake that would cause. And so
I think Joan is right, though, in the sense that she really does struggle with her communication skills.
She does.
She really.
Well, it's so interesting you say that, because the vice president's staff, Lulu, is saying, well, you know, she got off to a rough start, whether it was just 1 year or 2 years or whatever, but she has finally found her voice. One of the things that people objected to was her voice. They said they found her voice, especially her laugh.
That's funny for this to actually be a topic. Her voice.
Annoying.
oh dear.
You know, it is amusing, and I put in Google, Kamala Harris finds her voice. It's not just it's not just the Harris team that's saying this. When you Google that, you get several articles by reporters. It is the media that's saying this, and about once every 6 months, the media writes a story, Kamala Harris finds her voice, and usually it's on the abortion message. If she had a strong, consistent voice and was really finding a lot of success as vice president, we wouldn't read an article every 6 months.
Yes, because no one ever writes
her
about women
finding
and
her
their voices. No one ever writes about women smiling or being appealing.
Well, you know, I kind of anticipated this.
I'm sorry,
People
but
write
it's-
about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his voice.
Not that much. Come on.
Oh,
and it's a
I
particularly annoying voice, by the way. But that's besides the point.
I hate when they do that, when they try to move the mark and, you know, we won't equal this, equal that, but, you know, oh, but she's a woman, so you can't do this. It's like,
It's like precisely the
This is
point.
so
Her
typical.
voice
Look,
is an issue.
She's got a problem with communicating. She sounds like a prosecutor. I would say that's probably she sounds like what she was for years. I think the issue is she's also a woman. She's also a woman of color. And I'm not blaming it on that necessarily, but
That's
she has
exactly
got a lot
what you're
of
doing.
inbuilt things.
So are you suggesting that women don't face a double standard in politics?
I'm just saying that I think the voice question with her is that she does have a voice that people find annoying, just like they do with Robert F. Kennedy.
and I think she has an annoying voice too, talking about the significance of the passage of time. And we have to be unburdened by what has been like. Come on. Well, so you're saying that women aren't like, come on, ladies, calm down, man. I don't want to be a victim, but I'm going to use the victim card. Like, come on, man, calm down, man. But you see CNN over here, you know, can't even keep themselves together right now. They'll be like, bruh, what? You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You just can't. Sometimes CNN, they randomly get it right. I'm just saying. They randomly get it right. Let's read some of these comments. This is Gold, my friend. She was demonized by edited videos for years. Many thought she wasn't the crunchiest chip in the bag because of the attack ads. Now that we are seeing her talk, substance opinions are changing. I'm starting to build a healthy respect for her. What? There has to be a bot, because I'm not even saying like she don't have supporters. I'm just saying that one gotta be a bot. What else we got? Which voice? She uses so many, right? Most flip-flop people ever. Somebody else wrote, appointing Kamala Harris was the worst political decision of Biden's presidency. Yeah, when he said that, I was like, oh, checkmate, stingity stank. CNN just fact-checked Kamala Harris campaign that Project 2025 was a Democrat lie. They even accidentally confirmed Project 2025 is, quote, the wrap-up smear, end quote, and has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Yeah, let's go ahead and hear this out.
Holy smokes, did CNN just stumble into one of the most epic fact checks against the Kamala Harris campaign? You got to see this. This is epic. For several weeks now, I've been telling you about the propaganda campaign around Project 2025, going all the way back to Democracy Forward, The People's Guide to Project 2025, Mark Elias, Ron Klain, all of the usual actors that develop propaganda and drive the campaigns for the radical left in the Democrat Party. And CNN just exposed it. For the life of me, I can't figure out why they did this. CNN fact-checking the Kamala Harris campaign? Holy smokes. It's possible that they don't even know what they just did, because if you notice the headline, what they're fact-checking is one claim that Kamala Harris made about Project 2025 as she tried to inaccurately, well, really just she lied about Project 2025 and Social Security cuts. And it's quite possible that Daniel Dale just doesn't know what he did. So read the highlighted part. It says the Harris campaign official said the campaign has, quote, made a deliberate decision to brand all of Trump's policies as Project 2025. And the reason? Because they believe it has stuck with voters. That's the wrap-up smear. That's how they do it. The Democrat Party created a propaganda campaign around something that was totally unrelated to Donald Trump and his campaign. And then they sent the media out and all their left-wing organizations out to convince people that Donald Trump had something to do with Propaganda 2025. And now suddenly CNN inadvertently fact-checked them? Wow. Somebody must be out for Kamala Harris and her campaign. Maybe she's not the one that's going to be the nominee.
I'm really surprised too, y'all. I'm still in shock. For real. Somebody even wrote it out for us. Holy shit. CNN continuing to drop truth bombs on their confirmed Democrat candidate was definitely not on my 2024 bingo card. Not that I'm complaining. Something got to be up. This is what they definitely was alluding to. Something definitely has to be up for CNN. I think what it is you got like platforms like X and more independent news sources, media sources starting to be put into the forefront more, and they kind of sitting back like, yo, we can't, hey dog, we got to give them a little bit of truth, you know what I'm saying? We got to give them something, bro. We can't keep going at this pace. Well, I want to know y'all thoughts though. Do y'all think that Kamala Harris will be the Democratic nominee? We already know Vivek, he spoke on this and he gave us his predictions in a previous video. We have CNN fact checking her as it relates to everything, you know. Fact checking her as it relates to her line about Donald Trump and Project 2025, and I think that we're not too surprised to know that they're trying to brand everything that Trump says is Project 2025, because people still don't care that he denounced it publicly, you know, twice. Once via True Social, which is writing, and then two, you know, while he was at a rally. And it amazes me that people don't even know that those two pieces of content exist that will completely diminish this whole argument. But, you know, they bank on us not doing any research. So there's that. And then Kamala Harris having the worst approval ratings. Oh, my gosh, yo. I think that was ABC News right there, though. That wasn't CNN. Same thing, though. Same thing.